And I'm hella young. They call me Zombie Ray.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Andy Ruiz reaction to Dillian Whyte taking an L. Here is some footage right here.
You know why? Because he doesn't have respect. Yeah, I saw White. Tell you the truth, I was so happy that White fucking got his ass knocked the fuck out. You know why? Because he doesn't have respect for the fighters. That's what gets me pissed off.
All right,
Yeah,
so that's Andy Ruiz saying that he's happy that Dillian Whyte got knocked out because he doesn't have respect for the fighters. I'm gonna turn this one to Trill Dollar Bill. What are your thoughts on Andy Ruiz's comments and the way he reacted to Dillian Whyte being knocked out?
Listen, it's all fair in love and war. That's how I look at it. Like we talked about this last week when Rolly won. And everybody came out saying, oh, it was a robbery, you know what I'm saying, robbing with no gun. This is what happens. When you're the guy that's talking all this mess and you bringing all this smoke, when you lose, you got to be prepared to take whatever, you know what I'm saying, you done gave out, you got to be prepared to take it, you know, because you get back what you put out. So if you're going to be, you know, going at other fighters when they lose, just know that when you lose, the other fighters are going to come at you, you know. So I just think it's the same thing. I think you was bringing that up last week, Katie. The same thing would happen with Rolly. I think it's just the same thing with Dillian Whyte. I believe it's the same thing.
All right, G?
Yeah, I agree with Andy Ruiz on this one because when you look at Dillian Whyte's resume when it comes to trash talking, it's extensive. You know, I remember when he had the opportunity to fight Pulev for the mandatory. He disrespected Pulev. To the point, Pulev still don't rock with him to this day. Who else? Ortiz, when he was like, nobody want to fight that old man. He doesn't speak English. Then it was Wilder saying that Big Baby is Wilder's child's father. Crazy, you know? And when he was negotiating with Ruiz, and he kept saying this, we offered him $5 million. And then when we seen the text, it was just 4. And Ruiz's team was like, if you make it 5, we got to fight. So, but he keeps lying, saying that he offered 5. And I'm like, bro, you didn't offer 5. You showed us you offered only 4, you know? And then now when you look at the Povetkin fight, I remember at the weigh-in, Povetkin went to shake his hand and Dillian like ignored him. Like that to me was disrespectful. But then Dillian at the end did pound him.
I was about to say, I saw that he pounded him.
He pounded him at the end. But like literally Povetkin had his hand out for a minute and then Dillian was just like, you know what I mean? And I was like, that's crazy, right? Then in that fight last night, I don't know if y'all noticed this, same thing happened. One of the rounds, Povetkin went to pound him.
The second round.
Ignored him. Just ignored him. And I'm like, fam, this is still a gentleman's sport. Like, I understand you want maximum violence and all that good stuff, but the energy you put out to the world, you get back. You know what I'm saying? So
I will say this, though, as someone who's been in, like, if you're sparring, I understand touching gloves at the end of every round. But in a fight, sometimes, like, I don't want to touch gloves. Like, I just want to fight.
No,
like,
I understand that. I understand
after the fight, but, like, you know, touching gloves at the end of every round is just, it's not everybody's thing. Like, you know,
I'm establishing a pattern with Dillian Whyte.
But as y'all noticed, I said to the group chat that it looked like Povetkin's feelings was hurt when he didn't shake his hand. He sat there and looked at him.
Povetkin was like, a word?
He looked at him. He's sitting in the middle like, no hand, no handshake.
Povetkin was like, I still got that Tyson special for your ass. You know what I mean? So, but I'm just saying, this has been a constant, like, pattern with Dillian Whyte, where it's like he trashes the entire heavyweight division. He even trashed, like, he was even disrespectful to AJ before AJ knocked him out with an uppercut. You know, so it's like, bro, you talk the spiciest in the entire division. He even when you look at the 1,000-day thing, right? What I didn't like about that was he implied that he was the mandatory for those 1,000 days. When we know Brazil was the mandatory. And we know Brazil even offered to fight him. Like, yo, we could fight, and whoever wins could take on Deontay Wilder. And he didn't do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, when I look at Dillian, I like him as a fighter. I don't like his personality, like, because his character, like, he has too many negative strikes for me in the way he interacts in the heavyweight division, which isn't cool. Even when he was trying to like expose like AJ and the Tyson Fury picture. And I remember back in the days, he was like, oh, AJ, Fury, and Wilder, they're all friends. They be texting each other. Don't believe the hype. I'm like, yo, why you messing with their money? Like, they trying to promote what they got, and you hating. You know what I'm saying? Because you on the sidelines. But best believe you was in the mix, you be doing the same thing. Like, yeah, I hate these dudes. Da, da, da. You know, so that's why I'm like, I feel what Andy Ruiz is saying. Like, yo, he's the biggest hater in the heavyweight division.
All right, Ned.
Damn, man. Damn. How y'all gonna come for Dillian like that, yo? After like what he's going through, yo, like kicking the dog down like that. Yeah, I don't agree with Dillian's tactics.
That's not even what I'm doing.
Yo, man. I know there's not much you can see Dillian building up another fighter in a lot of his interviews. He's always has something. If there's something negative about being said, it's coming out of Dillian's mouth. If anything going on,
not to cut you off, Ned. I forgot. Fury. I knocked him out in sparring.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. It's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, respect the code, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, sparring. You leave it at that.
You know what it is.
And even that sparring session, I saw that clip of the sparring session was the clip I saw with Dillian in headgear and Tyson Fury not wearing headgear. How you even bragging about that, bro?
No.
He wasn't even wearing headgear. You wearing headgear. That tells me that they're worried about him hurting you.
Dillian know what he do. You know, he know the rules in the streets. You show love, you get hugs. You show hate, you catch slugs. And that's what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yo, you get what you put out, Dillian. At this point, yo, it's a whole shitstorm coming his way. After all that trash talking he put out, everybody was going to Twitter bigging up Povetkin and not even saying, yo, get it back, Dillian, nothing, you know. So Dillian, you got the history behind you, behind who you are. Everybody knows who you are as a man. So you gotta expect it. You put out what you get, what you put out. So simply.
All right, for our viewers, it's time to unleash Complex. Go ahead, my brother. The floor is yours.
Nah, I mean, not much to say. And Andy Ruiz, I mean, I get where he's coming from, but for Dillian Whyte, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, he made his fame through talking trash. And that's a lot of guys in boxing, they have personas. I don't even know if that's how he is in real life, but, you know, he got where he is in big fights by talking a lot of trash. But what happens is you lose, you're going to get that right back. So it is what it is. You just got to take it, roll with it, and he'll come back. But, I mean, you know, Dillian Whyte talks a lot of trash, and, you know, people are going to clown you when you lose. It's boxing. That's how the fans are. Even Anthony Joshua, who's by all accounts is a pretty nice guy. He doesn't really talk that much trash in public or disrespect guys. When he got knocked out, there was memes for days. He was getting clowned like nobody's business. So, you know, Wilder, it all happens. It is what it is.
I want to give it up for a boxing cousin right there. He kept it short.
Salute, man. I know. I respect how you snuck in Wilder at the end.
This one, I thought he was going to do it. He's going to go without saying Wilder.
Stop it. This is the Wildest fan channel. Y'all talk the most about Wilder.
Stop it.
Oh, cut the BS.
Stop it. You know, get into this. Dillian Whyte, he does have a history of exchanging words with people at the top. And Latrell pointed this out, similar to Rolly. And when you do that, they're watching you. And so I think one positive that Dillian Whyte can take from this situation is he had everyone watching him. Ruiz was watching him. He had Anthony Joshua there watching him. Tyson Fury was watching him. So the pro is you have the eyes of the elite. And that's a great thing because what you do matters. They're interested in you. What that tells me is, and I'm sure even Deontay Wilder was watching that fight. They're interested in you. So that's always a good thing. But what's not a good thing is when you take an L. Because see, when you take that L and you've been giving them negative energy, you've been saying negative things about them, borderline personal disrespectful things in some aspects, like what he said about Deontay Wilder and Big Baby Miller being the father of his child. I think that goes beyond the scope of boxing trash talk.
Mm-hmm.
Him having words with Ruiz and him saying that Luis Ortiz is, an old man who doesn't speak English. And then, like we talked about in the last segment, the irony is he just got knocked out cold by an old man who doesn't speak English. So sometimes you just have to be careful. You get out what you put in. And so I'm not surprised to see Ruiz, excited about him being knocked out. Ruiz is a guy who beat Anthony Joshua, who has a bigger victory on his resume than any victory that Dillian Whyte has on his. And so he feels like Dillian Whyte's been disrespectful towards him. But hopefully that's a fight we can see in the future. I'm not surprised. Do I think Dillian Whyte respects the fighters? I think in his heart he does, but maybe it's a persona like Complex said. When it's all said and done, you get out what you put in. If you don't want people to come at you, don't come at them. But if you come at people, expect them to come at you. But to me, just be happy they even care about what you're doing.
What they say? Stay hungry and stay humble.
Shoot. Moral of the story, get back what you put out. Why not let it be respect? Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also check out our podcast on all major streaming services. It's the Boxing Bros with the Boxing Cousin.
Catch me creeping down the dog street. This is where me and the zombies meet. Guarantee we all gonna eat. It's Zombie Ray again with HD. I'm a zombie in the night, you better run from me. Zombie Ray in the house, you better run, homie. Brought a mask and some gloves with some thugs with me. I came to do damage, you wanna purge with me. Super Saiyan zombie, I'll be